After 2 hours of oral arguments, a federal judge must decide whether city officials followed the law while planning Honolulu's $5.3 billion rail project. KITV4's Andrew Pereira is here with our top story. Andrew?
Paula, if mayoral candidate Ben Cayetano isn't successful in November's election, rail opponents hope this lawsuit may stop or slow down construction of the elevated train. In 2006, the city released its alternative analysis, which looked at which technology and route would best serve Honolulu's mass transit needs. Plaintiffs in the federal lawsuit, which includes mayoral candidate Ben Cayetano, contend viable alternatives to rail were excluded before an environmental impact statement could be done. They say that's a direct violation of the National Environmental Policy Act.
That is something you do in the EIS process. That's not something you do beforehand so that you have a predetermined outcome.
If there's anything that was established clearly, was there were some alternatives that they kind of glossed over.
The city maintains the rail project's final environmental impact statement contains multiple references to transportation alternatives that were studied, as does the project's administrative record.
The procedure that's provided for by law allows you to do an alternatives analysis followed by an EIS. That's what we did.
The judge must also decide if the city was correct in moving forward with construction of the rail project before completing an archaeological inventory survey of the entire 20-mile route. The city says if it comes across native Hawaiian burials, it can keep iwi where they are or move the columns that support the elevated guideway. The plan was supported by the Oahu Island Burial Council in a programmatic agreement with the city.
That's what the Native Hawaiian organizations wanted. That's what the city agreed to do. You can actually move them about 100 feet.
However, the plaintiffs contend some burials may be so large that moving columns may not be financially prudent.
They're going to talk to the Burial Council and say, where can we put these bones? Because we're not going to move this column because it's too expensive.
Now, the city also claims rail provides the most transportation equity for Oahu's low-income population, and that's one of the reasons that managed lanes were excluded. Judge A. Wallace Tashima was brought in from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to hear the case after U.S. district judges in Honolulu raised concerns about the proximity of the rail project to the federal courthouse. There's no telling when Judge Tashima might rule. Paula?